Welcome, Warriors of the Light. I'm getting urgent message. That wasn't quite the words that had come through, but something was like, something that you need to know right now. Very important for your path ahead. Ooh, you can't quite see that one, but I'm going to bring him in. Hello. You can't quite see the apple, but we'll pop him here. We'll see. We'll see. We've got this magic wand. Let me hold it up. Manifestation. You're manifesting something beautiful, something gorgeous. Oh, that's like an abacus. I thought it was a fence. And what I got there with the fence, when I thought it was the fence, was something that breaks through barriers. Like this is breaking through your own personal barriers. Ooh. Very nice, very nice. I got like the words fame and fortune, and obviously not all of us can be billionaires and famous in terms of celebrity. But when we bring it down to our world, fame and fortune means doing very well financially on the material plane. And fame means being like, you know, noticed, being acknowledged, being like loved for who you are. And I love that. There's something here about manifesting fame and fortune in your world, breaking down barriers. Interesting, the abacus as well. That was an old school way of counting money. So you 144 on the timer. Beautiful ones. You're definitely going to be counting your money with glee coming on up. Let's see what this one is. It's here. Interesting. Ye old magnifying glass. If you haven't already, there was a reading a couple of days ago that had the main card was look closer with a magnifying glass. Oh my gosh. Wow, and then this one like wouldn't go back in. Okay. And what is this? Could be a pyramid, could be a net. I mean, it's probably aiming to be a pyramid-like structure, but we've definitely got parts of a web. We've got a net energy. It was sitting kind of like that. Oh, look at the eye. Definitely, you will definitely be becoming very aware of any and all self-sabotaging beliefs. With our fence, which wasn't quite a fence, but we're reading it as such, and with this net. These ways, that's it. We're still here. We're still here with this story. These are the story dice. Look at that. It's like, how do you speak and how do you think about fame and fortune even? Being, you know, not only acknowledged, but applauded for who you are. It's definitely time. It's divine timing for you to be addressing any like internal dialogues, especially with this blank speech bubble, that are unhelpful, that are part of a past web of thinking, past patterns. Looking closely at those, becoming very aware of them, because you, my friend, deserve fame and fortune in your world, what that means to you. And many of us have a lot of blockages. I certainly have money blockages from a very young age. I just saw the amount of harm that money and the desire for money and power does to all of us. Like there's, you know, there's a fly in the ointment there. And so I've always struggled with receiving money. I've done a lot of service focused work. I've worked as an art teacher in a prison. I've worked as a caregiver of elderly and disabled people. It was always about taking care of the people that, and, you know, when we think about, you know, crime, many people end up in prison that were raised in a certain way, that didn't have I'm not apologizing for any of their actions that were harmful to others, not at all. But there's definitely systemic situations that give rise to certain kinds of criminality. So that was about rehabilitation and reintegration. That was my focus as the art teacher. It wasn't to condone anything that those people had done, but it was to give them a way to process their own personal wounds and a way to express themselves that isn't harmful. This is all those soft skills that are learnt in many prisons. It's giving people like another way, another option that maybe they didn't see or had never encountered before. 555 on the timer. It's that opportunity to change. But I digress. I just wanted to put it out there because I myself have been harmed by someone that should have gone to prison but did not. But so I'm not apologizing at all for their behavior. But it was all about taking care of people who, particularly, the elderly work that I'd done, that was in our Western culture can often be sidelined, can often be sort of just parked up in that care home and then forgotten about. This kind of thing. And I sort of went all in on being of service, and all jobs of service tend to pay very little. So if you take care of others, if you want to rehabilitate others, if you want to heal others, if you want to take care of others, nurture others, you are often on the bottom rung of the capitalist ladder. There was this book I read years ago, Conversations with God, and one of the things was the God character sort of pointing out, it's like, well, you say that you value love and caring and kindness and all of those things. However, when you look at your economical structure, you pay those people the least. Anyone that does work that cares for other human beings tends to be on the lowest rung of the economic ladder. However, someone that is, raising a part of an old forest to create, buildings that generally haven't even been designed well, as a final kick in the teeth, in terms of where the sun is, all of that sort of thing, giving people outside space, all of that. They are at the upper echelons of the ladder. And so it is this, dichotomy that I have struggled with, this sense that to make a lot of money would be wrong in some way, and that belief system I'm sharing from my own personal experience, coming from the sensation that, a lot of people that make a lot of money do a lot of harm on this planet. So I've got 5 of Cups coming in. So I've got my own unhelpful and unhealthy belief systems to do with money, and we're in the area of fame and fortune. So you may also struggle with a sense of being at ease, being received, being seen, being heard, being on stage, being in the limelight. All of these things are coming up now to be seen, because I'm getting the energy that Mother Earth wants you to be prosperous. Mother Earth is the most abundant planet in our solar system. She is a giver. She does not create lack. It's human beings that create lack. She has an abundance of food, of shelter, of animals, of beings. It never ends. She is the constant gardener. She is the giver. She is the empress. in the tarot deck, which came up in yesterday's reading. So there's this energy of there is plenty, there is plentiful abundance for everyone, and it is time for you to receive gratefully and gracefully whatever has been blocked to you due to false belief systems, to your own net, things that you have self-sabotaged through a way of thinking and talking even. If we talk about money being the root of all evil, then naturally we're not going to attract it into our lives because we see it as a bad thing. The Mother Earth wants you to get the nectar. She wants you to have fame and fortune in your world, what that means for you. She wants you to feel like that dignity, that respect, being upheld, being seen, being valued. That's what this is, 1111 on the timer. She wants you to feel valued, and she wants you to experience abundance. And the sense of being safe here with this nest, the mother, like no longer, struggling to pay those bills or struggling with, not being valued in the field in which you work or in the work that you do that isn't necessarily like a job, with, a financial pay packet. You are manifesting something good here in an area that you used to lack. I'm just going to turn off the heater. We're just in early spring here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Occasionally need the heater. Ooh, hello. Nest and casket. Like, you know. Ooh. I don't know, I just went, ooh, I just saw these cards and I was like, ooh, I'll need to use those maybe in the next reading. But this is where we're at. The nest, the emotionally secure, loving family, or the amazing, spiritually aligned business, or the great pay packet, doing a job that you really enjoy, or whatever this nest is for you, whatever you would like to cultivate, to birth into your world and grow, requires something being closed off. And it's whatever these self-sabotaging beliefs are for you, obviously they'll be different for everyone here. I just thought I would share one of mine. The thread, needle and thread, a sincere wish. Oh yeah, baby. Will be granted. This is it. Whatever this self-sabotaging, limiting belief has prevented you from having, this is what's changing. You're about to reach breakthrough moment. You're about to receive this wish. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, so cute. The otter and cattail. My middle child said to me once, she's like, I think you're an otter in terms of like animal energy, which was really lovely to hear. Otters are so cute and they carry their babies and float on the water. They're just gorgeous. Peace. Peace and harmony. I also get the energy of going with the flow. Also this mother energy coming through. I mean, Mother Earth has been coming through very strongly. The world soul being an overarching guide to all of us here. There's something about sinking into the flow and like trusting Mother Earth, that whole trusting the universe, but trusting the energy of Mother Earth as the carer, as the caregiver, as the nurturer, as the empress, the pregnant empress, who offers everything to her child and also keeps her child safe. There's very caring energy here. She wants the best for you. Mother Earth wants the best for you. And I'm just remembering, like, a while back there was a reading where I was like, you know, calling our overarching, like, larger, like, mega frequency spirit guide, very powerful spirit guide. I called him like the main man, the big guy or something like that. And then straight away this woman tea leaf card came out. And I took that as I shouldn't be gendering this energy, this frequency, but now I realize it was actually, oh, you got that wrong, babe. It's a feminine energy, very, very powerful, very nurturing, along with that fierce warrioress energy that we saw in a recent reading about her emerging into her warrior, like warrior frequency over the coming years. Seven of Wands, light upon the path. It's almost like, look at this. Just look, you know, again, we're still going with the fence. You know, the fence, the blockages are all about to give way. And they're giving way to this enlightenment because remember, we are working on seeing. In my experience, if you're not aware of a limiting belief inside of you, it creates its patterns in your existence. You receive, you know, the frequency of that limiting belief over and over again until you see it. It's like there's really a very strong power in just seeing, in noticing, and becoming aware of. The moment that we become aware of a limiting belief is the moment that it loses significant power. Does it all go away? No, there's still work to be done. There's still this energy of this Buddhist book I read when I had my first child. My sister sent it to me, and honestly it was like a savior at that time. And it was about the power of thought. It was like, if you have an idea or if you do something, you are then 10 times more likely to do it again. And this is the energy of patterns that repeat and repeat and get more and more complicated and have all of these various like ways of coming into being. But we can work with that. We can reprogram our brains because we can, once we notice it, we're like, ah, there you are. I see you for what you are. I see you. I see you. I'm going to hold that one up. I see you for what you are, and right in this moment I'm going to choose a different thought or I'm going to choose a different action. Now there's a pause of about a millisecond. You know, if we get sort of triggered by something and we react, there is this teeny tiny millisecond of a pause where we can choose a different response, and this is where we cultivate the energy of responding rather than reacting. And it's the aim of the process of reprogramming your mind to leap in there and choose that different response. And if we didn't get there in time and we reacted, we were triggered, we reacted, we nurture ourselves, we understand that we're still at the sway of this old pattern, this old way of thinking, and we give ourselves the grace to try again, because the more that we tell ourselves off, the harder, the harder it becomes. But it's this process of laying false belief systems, unhelpful belief systems to rest, but we need to cultivate the new. We need to birth the new, and then we need to grow and cultivate. We need to tend that garden. It's totally possible. But it all starts with awareness. It all starts with becoming aware of what that thought is, what that reaction is. That's like, oh, every time that happens, I react that way. And the moment that we recognize it, that window of changing our response widens. And the more that we feed into that gap and we choose a different response, we're creating new neural pathways. We're creating options where once it used to just be like a reaction or a thought that was just, yeah, a reactive thought based on an old false belief system. And again, with that, when we do something once, we're 10 times more likely to do it again. So if we manage to intercept a self-sabotaging thought once, we're now 10 times more likely to do that again and again and again. And it multiplies, so that now we're far more likely to think this healthy thought about fame and fortune, which is here, rather than the old false belief system that was a net. It was keeping us stuck. Eight of Cups. Generally, like in the Rider-Waite-Smith, Eight of Cups is choosing to leave a good situation behind to reach for the Nine of Cups. But what we have here is leaving a bad situation behind. And this is all our thoughts here. Our broken thoughts that haven't brought us happiness or even a sense of peace and safety in this world. They were belief systems that were born of a certain time, generally, traumatic, or like highly challenging in that moment, like profound. And it's time to leave these broken thought patterns behind. It's time to see them for what they are. And in seeing this, I don't play chess, but is it, it's the tower, the bishop? I don't know. That's coming through as like the Hierophant. It's like when we see our belief systems, we're far more likely to be able to carve a new path, to grow new ways of thinking. Oh yeah, death, and check it out. This is one of the most gruesome death cards. There's certain cards in this deck that I find quite visually, viscerally challenging. But here we have death. Death signifying the coffin. This Eight of Cups. The leaving these past belief systems in the dust, I'm getting. They've only served to cause you a sense of lack in an area that you truly desire. That's the apple here. Interesting. Apple can also read as that temptation, Adam and Eve and the apple. Oh, no, I'm seeing this as like desire, really healthy temptation, healthy desire. You want this thing and you deserve this thing. Mother Earth is coming on through to say, you, my child, deserve this fame and fortune in your world. Ace of Swords, clarity of thought, clarity of intent, and it's standing strong even in the face of those neural pathways that leap in, those old belief systems that leap in to tell us, oh, you can't do that, oh, you're not good enough to do that, or that those more secret ones of like, where you have a belief system, like myself, about money, and they like come on in, but it's like remaining strong. This is, warrior of the light energy. And it's also warrior of yourself, like having that discipline, having that integrity, having that strength of purpose to know that you deserve better, you deserve good things, and knowing that and believing that and crafting that, so then it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Again, whatever these limiting beliefs are for you, they won't be the same as for me. Two of Pentacles generally juggling, but this card doesn't read like that. Butterflies are transformation, death and rebirth over here. There's also this energy of balancing the two. We also get that with the Chariot as well. I had this beautiful epiphany I don't know, a couple of months ago or something, when I was chatting with my daughter, and we were talking, I don't know, it just came clear to me about the Chariot, because often we talk about the Chariot in action, you know, they're grappling with these two different horses, they're, you know, the black and the white horse, or the black and the white Sphinx. And I was saying, oh, it's so weird that it's a Sphinx. There's Sphinxes in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And then I realized that it's not. The Chariot, while it definitely, you know, denotes, you know, travel, movement, action, determination, all that stuff, the fact that in the Rider-Waite-Smith they're sphinxes is because they're internal. They're the white wolf and the black wolf of that saying. That's what this is. That's what this is. It's choosing to move forward and wrangle those belief systems, keeping them in check, wrangling the belief system that pops up to say, oh, money is the root of all evil, so, you know, therefore you don't want to have any money in this lifetime. Wrangling that in and balancing it with the equal and opposite. Here, the black and the white. That money is good, that having, you know, a wealth of wonderful things like wonderful home, like clothes that you like, feeding yourself and your family, going on lovely vacations, spending quality time together, all these things, like, and it's like wrangling. Like, get involved and start wrangling these false belief systems, these self-sabotaging beliefs. And there's a time of wrangling before it becomes second nature. Like, you got to get involved. Strength, the Chariot. You got to be determined, Ace of Swords. You got to play that game with this chessboard. It's like, this is a pattern that has been going on for years. Years it's been going on. And so to untangle that pattern and create a new pattern that is better for you, you got to play this game. You got to wrangle those belief systems and bring in the new. We can't just say that, you know, we can't just deny the old belief system. We have to also bring in a new belief system and work at it, work at it, work at it. Oh yeah, this is another one that that's another one that I'm like, ah, so not nice. Nine of Swords. I don't want to show it. But that's it. That's what's under this Chariot. It's all of these messed up thoughts that are unhelpful to you, that are not helping you on your path. They're all messed up. They're generally based in, you know, a wounded way of thinking, feelings of lack, feelings of should not, could not, I couldn't, all of that stuff. And this is what we're being shown to deal with now. Because again, we're paving the way into this beautiful lot of fortune chapter where just blissful, gorgeous, good things, good fortune are on our path ahead. But this is the hard part. This is where we wrangle with the things that were before. Where were we? Creating a net, creating a stuckness. But that now we see for what they are. And then we address it. Then we work on it. I'm going to leave your beautiful message here. Thank you so much for being here. Leave a comment. I love reading your comments. Like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.